now, what is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and this is a part of 100 movies that I have never seen before until now. This is probably surprising for some people because honestly, some of my friends were surprised that I hadn't seen this movie until right now. I am talking about My Cousin Vinny. My Cousin Vinny is a 1992 film that was directed by Jonathan Lynn. And the plot. The plot is we meet Ralph Macchio, who plays Billy. Him and his friend are going to a convenience store. They buy a few things. Everything seems normal, right? Until they get pulled over by a cop. And they get arrested. And they think that they're getting arrested because of a can of tuna fish that they forgot to buy. But unbeknownst to them, they get charged with murder because the clerk at the store was murdered after he was robbed. So they're in trouble. They're in a dilemma, and they don't have the money for an actual attorney. But luckily, there's an attorney in the family. I'm talking about his cousin Vinny, played by Joe Pesci, and this guy, man, talk about being in over your head. Talk about not really knowing what to do. What I thought of My Cousin Vinny was I really enjoyed this film. I did. I had so much fun with it. This movie, I was surprised by how much fun I had with it. I heard it was fun. I heard it was funny. I heard everything, but for some reason, when enough people say something, you come to think that, well, it probably won't live up to that, right? Or it probably won't be as funny to me as it is to everybody, because that has happened on occasion. This wasn't the case, though. I instantly was intrigued by the plot, just everything that happened with Ralph Macchio and his friend, just that situation sucking as much as it did, but also just the exchange between him and the cop, who the cop thinks that he's confessing to murder, but he's not. He's confessing to just accidentally buying the tuna fish can. But then, when Joe Pesci shows up, that's when the movie kind of turns into a different level. Yes, Joe Pesci, big star, so instantly you're gravitated to him. But even his demeanor, the way he's dressed, him and his girlfriend showing up in town, and sort of like, he obviously thinks that this lawyer stuff is easy. This is his first case, but still he thinks he can just roll in there, wing it. He's wearing cowboy boots and a leather jacket in court. The judge, played by Fred Gwynne, is very upset with the way he is. He gets arrested in contempt of court like almost every trial, every day that they have going on, and so it's insane. You're yelling at the TV for him to just go along with the program, but at the same time, it's very funny. Joe Pesci just pulls off this guy who, yeah, bless him. He is trying in a way, but he doesn't have a personality to quite get it 100%. But it was nice. It was refreshing to see Joe Pesci in a comedy. Especially after seeing the last couple movies that I've seen with him that have been brutal or intense and killing and whatnot. This was nice to see him. I mean, other than Home Alone, this was nice to see him be more the center of the comedy. Thought he pulled it off well. Him always trying to get a good night's sleep, but every hotel that he goes to, just something. Whether it's the factory, whether it's the train, whether it's this and that, it must be brutal. His girlfriend, let's talk about his girlfriend. Marissa Tomei might be my favorite part of this movie, not just because it's Marissa Tomei and she's attractive. Yes, that's all very true. But I liked her role in the movie. It's interesting for the time when this came in. She could have easily just been written to be the girlfriend. The hot girlfriend who's just there for a couple of gags, a couple of lines, a couple of jokes maybe, or being the butt of a joke maybe. And then that's it. But no, she was very crucial to Joe Pesci succeeding. She was crucial to the case itself. She was smart. She knew a lot about not just cars, but just about whatever she had to do to get by. And I think she pulled it off well. I think she was very likable. Them going back and forth with her wanting him to actually get them married. But I did think this. I mean, it's not even a nitpick or anything negative about the movie per se. It's just more of an observation. Marissa Tomei says in the movie that she's been waiting years for him to marry her. And she talks about how, like, her niece is getting married. That's how long she's been waiting. And so I thought to myself, well, how old is she to be waiting years? She looks very young in comparison to Joe Pesci. They never mention in the movie, really, the age difference. They never make that a point, really, at all. I was almost waiting for the moment where she takes the stand later on, that somebody was going to ask her if this was his daughter, just for the joke, but that didn't happen. And so, I looked it up, and she's 25 years old in this movie. And Joe Pesci is like 45 years old. 20-year difference. She's of age, so I'm not saying he's a creep on that level. It's just, it's interesting that the movie never really made a point to mention it, to talk about it. But in any event, I like the banter, like I said, between Joe Pesci and Herman Munster himself, just being really annoyed by his antics and him constantly having to pretend like, oh yeah, he really is a high-powered judge in this other town with this name that doesn't really exist, or the guy died, or this and that. I got a lot of good laughs in this movie. I laughed pretty hard at a lot of it. What more can I say? I'm almost more disappointed that it took me this long to watch it, but I do feel like I can appreciate it so much more now. A lot of people recommended me watching this film. In fact, a friend of mine, and I've known her since high school, she, for 10 years, has been trying to get me to watch this movie. Julia, if you see this, I finally watched it, and you were right. It was worth it. It was hilarious. I'm sorry it took so long, because, man, this was good. So, guys, let me know in the comments below if you, too, have seen My Cousin Vinny. What do you think of it? Do you like it? Do you love it? Did you grow up on it, too? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!